Hello and welcome back to Neat Me Debt Free. My name is Hannah and this is my space to talk about my family's finances. So today's video is going to be a wrap up for my January budget. There's not really much left to go over, but we'll go through, and this is the first month that I think, did a fairly good job about tracking um, my expenses. So like my eating out, my groceries, little ancillary expenditures here and there. I've never been really good about like the nitty-gritty details, but as you can see here, I did do a pretty good job tracking. And so I think if things can only improve from there, that's kind of how I approach things. So if you're new here, welcome. I am a spreadsheet budgeter. This is a Google Docs document that I've tweaked for the last year at this point. Um, I budget around our paydays in chronological order. So we have set paydays. Um, we don't get paid like every 2 weeks like a lot of people do. So for us, this is what works. We have a monthly pay that gets paid out at the end of the month, and so that's where we begin our budget. And then I do have a on-call job where I get paid every 10th and 25th. And so we're going to be starting down here at the 25th and wrapping up the month. So you can see we got some highlights so that generally I highlight things just to let you guys know and myself know that these are things that we didn't discuss in the last video that just popped up. And so um, I just like to kind of draw attention to them. So for the 25th, I actually got paid that much. And so that gives us quite a bit of change. The Verizon bill is our cell phone bill. And so that came out to $100.90. These green are our variable expenses, so meaning they kind of fluctuate in value. Um, what I did for this year is I reflected over all of 2020's budget for our cell phone bill, and none of the bills exceeded $101, so that is what I used for our budget for this year. Um, so that's just kind of how I do things. Kids' allowances. Unfortunately, the kids did not do their chores very much, so we only had to pay them out $12. I did end up only adding $500 to our down payment fund. But excitingly enough, that got us $500 away from, oh no, it didn't. Just kidding. I'm in the future. But we'll talk about that. But yeah, so I only added $500 to our down payment fund, which is fine. We still have time, and I still have more work to do. Costco. Oh, I should have highlighted that one too. So Costco is always my budget buster. Like, I don't know. I need to get away from shopping there because it busts my um, household and grocery budget. But because it was so much, I decided to pay just cash from it for it, not included in our household and budget. But I did include the cost. So what it was is the Costco shop itself was $243.95, and then that same day my husband got gas for my car, which was $32.28. So I combined it together to pay on the credit card separately, but I added it into the expenses just so I could see, how much are we spending on groceries, how much are we spending on household, that kind of a thing. So I did end up paying that much. So this is credit card tablet. So I charged $167.21 on our credit card, which needs to be paid off. And I will explain. So my mom, she got her second shot of the vaccine and just wasn't feeling well Well, evidently a scammer caught her at the exact right moment because she was weak and not feeling well and just not herself. And they asked her to go um, get $300 worth of gift cards for, I don't know if it's Apple or iPhone. I don't know what the specific card was, but um, it ended up being for, she ended up getting it for the Apple store. And so she got $300 worth, and they asked her to take a picture of it and send it to them. And, clearly we know that's a scam, right? Like, well, right after she sent it, she messaged my brother and was like, "This doesn't seem right. This is weird." And he's like, "Dude, you got scammed." Well, I'm the only one with an Apple phone in my family, or my mom and my brother. Um, and so she told me to hurry up and claim the cards. And so I added them into my Apple account, and she told me to just buy myself an early birthday present because she'd rather me use the money than the scammer. So, anyways, the difference in the cost, because I got a tablet, was I needed to pay $167.21. And so that's that. I'm sure I could have told that story a little bit more amusing, but yeah, it was crazy. She's nuts. But we got the money. The scammers didn't get to spend it, so all is right in the world. Um, the other thing that I did that oh, this is not right. I wrote the wrong number. So this is actually one, it seemed weird to me. Okay. Um, that is actually what I got paid because the other one was what I got paid the first time. See, you got to double check yourself. It seemed weird that I had that much left over. So I actually had a little bit more left over in my account because I didn't like 100% zero out our account the previous month. And so I was feeling really restless and just, I don't know, discontent. So I opened a Roth IRA and I decided to do some small contributions for 2021. I know I probably won't be able to max it out this year, but I did decide I wanted to throw $100 in. So a little bit over, but technically my account never went into the negative because I did have some um, extra money. But yeah, that is where our money went this last little section of the month. So our total income, you can see here, I can take out the stimulus. And so it was over 11K between my two jobs and my husband's one job. But we did get the stimulus, so I'm just kind of including it in because I did separate it out. And if you want to know what we did with our stimulus, I did record a video um, that is up if you want to see where our stimulus went. Um, so groceries clearly went into the negative. Eating out, we went into the negative. Gas. And so you can see, because, okay, I guess if you're new here, I don't do cash envelopes, but I do separate my money into different accounts. So right here, groceries, eating out, gas, all go into a separate checking account that I have. So these 2, 3, 4 are all in one account together. So even though I ended up in the negative, it all balanced out. There was no negative. And actually, because I included this Costco and I said I paid cash, there was a surplus. And I did use the surplus from these accounts to help pay for the credit card um, for the tablet that I bought. So it all balanced itself out. But yeah, so we ate out. I think we ate out 5 times. Oh, it didn't count. So our budget starts over the day that we get paid. And so our February budget actually started um, January 29th. That's right. So yeah, so we did only eat out 4 times because the budget did reset. We did eat out over this weekend, and that's why I was a little confused. Um, but yeah, my car needed gas twice. I've started going back to work um, for my teaching job on campus, and so that's what's done some of the gas. Plus, the kids are going back to school 4 days a week in person for half the day, and so I am putting a little bit more work on my car. So started having to pay gas, but actually my husband's car, he did not pay anything for gas. He did not need to load up his car because we haven't really been driving it. I didn't sell anything this month. We are decluttering majorly and packing a little bit in anticipation for the move to the new house. So I haven't really had a desire to sell things. I've pretty much been posting things on Buy Nothing just to get rid of them so that um, when we move, I won't have to carry a bunch of clutter or things that are pending to be sold and stuff like that. And yeah, if you're interested in decluttering and all that stuff, that's where I'm sharing. I'm sharing all that on Instagram, and so if you want to go check that out, we did men's game for January, and we're doing men's game again in February with all my husband's um, stuff since he is new to minimalism and he's the one that actually has a lot of things to get rid of. Sinking funds. So I did purchase clippers and some shears so that I could cut my husband and son's hair. And so it was $34.21. My daughter's birthday is next month, and so we started buying some stuff, but this will actually go down because um, we're going to return this her expensive gift, which we got her a bicycle, but her Mima and Papa got her a bicycle, so we get to return the expensive gift, and we got something else instead. So that'll be adjusted. That's not my daughter, that's her cousin's birthday, but I just wrote it down just so I could remember. Um, yeah, so that's about it for the budget. Um, I like just kind of like overall thoughts on it. I am a little disappointed that we were a little bit spendy. This is spendy for us, I guess. But I think all in all, we did really well, especially since this was the first month of me transitioning back to work. I also changed from um, part-time status to full-time status, and my pay isn't reflective of that yet, and I won't be carrying kind of what you would call full-time hours until possibly March. Um, but me being out of the house 4 days a week um, is a big change for us. Plus, I'm teaching at home some days, and so it's just um, I'm really proud of us for not getting real spendy with the eating out. But I have decided to increase our eating out budget. That'll be reflected in my February update just to build in some flexibility um, since I will be increasing my workload and we will be moving kind of further out from town. And so just for convenience, we will probably increase our, well, not we probably, we are going to be increasing our eating out budget. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. And that is our January budget for 2021. Um, all in all, a good month. We stayed pretty much on track. Um, could do better in some aspects, but that's what looking at this does is, force me to reflect and learn from my mistakes. Excuse me. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for February. February will be our last full month in our current home and with our current budget. So lots of exciting changes coming this way. So I'm happy to have you guys around. If you enjoy hearing about our real numbers and are excited for all the changes in our life, um, please consider liking and subscribing. Leave a comment. I love the comments that I get from you guys. You guys are so encouraging. Um, and thank you.